different scholars. You need to know what they're saying. So I went through all this, but my practice was Kriya.
Are you comfortable explaining what Kriya is to the audience?
Very much. I can't give Kriya in this kind of word, but the word Kriya in the Shastras, in the Yoga Shastras, simply means a practice. Kriya. Practice. What Kriya is? Yoga Shastras, innumerable Kriyas. Vastrika is a Kriya. Shambhavi is a Kriya. Anulom Vilom is a Kriya. Mahamudra is a Kriya. These are all different. When I say Kriya, I'm talking about that particular set of Kriya teachings that has come to us from Sri Guru Babaji. Not my master, but his master.
That person?
Now that is a picture, I think, drawn by Yogananda Paramahamsa's brother, based on Yogananda Swami's description. So it was Yogananda Paramahamsa who first coined the word Mahavatar Babaji, because he said many avatars have come and gone, but this person is there for a long, long time. He's supposed to be there till the end of the Kali Yuga, which we are only halfway through Kali Yuga now.
This is your guru's guru.
Yes. So Maheshwar Nath, he was also Lahari Mahashaya's guru.
Mahavatar Babaji you're talking about.
So, but for 1,000 years, he has been referred to, before the Yogananda Swami's book came out, as Sri Guru Babaji. Sri Guru Bhyo Namaha is the mantra we use for him. And when Gorakhnath, the great Gorakhnath, wrote his text, he always started with Sri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Then you will find them as Sri Nityanataya Namaha, which means the Nath who lives forever, which is Sri Guru Babaji. So in many traditions, he is known as Sri Guru Babaji. And so when I talk about Kriya, it's that Kriya that has come to us from that lineage. But there may be other Kriyas.
Was that his purpose? Mahavatar Babaji's purpose?
Yes, of course.
To bring back Kriya.
Yeah, because see, it's a very step-by-step, systematic, methodical way of transcending the ordinary.
To make it simpler for listeners who've not heard of Kriya Yoga before, it's supposed to be one of the fastest forms of spiritual advancement.
Now, that depends also on other factors. If I say I live my life as I want and then if I do, no, that doesn't work. You have to follow the Yama Niyamas, rules and regulations, and then practice. And also it depends on how much you practice and how diligently you practice and how carefully you practice. That is also there. Just because carefully means making sure that you do it regularly, making sure that you don't miss the points which are described to you. It's simply that you take Kriya is of no use. As the Yoga Sutras say, Nairantarya Abhyasena, regular practice is necessary before things can open up. So what Kriya does, basically it's a way of raising your awareness from the gross to the subtle with attention to the spine, which is called the Sushumna Nadi.
What does gross to the subtle mean?
That means the mind is usually caught up in what we call Prithvi Tattva, which means the gross forms of energy, physical, and so on. You have to raise the mind from that to subtler and subtler levels, which means to take your awareness through different parts of your spine. The spinal cord, the Sushumna Nadi, which it's called, then the mind becomes finer and finer and finer till it finally figures out the origin of this whole substance called the human.
So you've been practicing for a very long time now.
Yes.
What is your reality now in the moment after so many years of practice?
For me, now I practice because I enjoy it. I don't practice it for anything else. I enjoy practicing. But what it has done to me is it has opened up many dimensions to my mind. It has taken me from the mind can be at a given moment shifted from the lower to the higher levels.
At will.
At will of consciousness.
When you say higher levels, do you mean closer to God?
No, from the Indian system of thought, when the mind is free of all rithis, that mind reflects divinity. And divinity is not something that sits out there like the God concept in Semitic religions. It's the spark of the divine that exists in us. This is God. It's not some outside thing. It the entire universe, which is pervaded by the supreme being, but it is recognized in the human being as the core of one's own consciousness in one's own being. This is the jiva.
Hmm.
This is God. It's not something outside.